Back to Victoria now, where the Baillieu government has indicated it's on the brink of announcing an inquiry into church abuse. As this program revealed last July, police believe more than 30 suicides in the Ballarat region are linked to sexual abuse in the Catholic Church. 6 weeks ago, the Cummins inquiry into child protection recommended a separate investigation be held into the issue of church abuse. Chrissy and Anthony Foster want a royal commission. Their two young daughters were raped by a Melbourne priest in the 1980s. Emma Foster later took her own life, and Katie Foster now needs 24-hour care. I spoke to Chrissy and Anthony Foster at their home. Well, Anthony and Chrissy Foster, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Josie.
The Attorney-General Robert Clark has been considering an independent inquiry into church abuse since last year. Anthony, what's your understanding of where he's up to?
I think the government's in the final stages of deciding what form the inquiry will take. I have a strong feeling that the inquiry will come about. It's very important that that inquiry is a royal commission. So our push now is to ensure that the government institutes a royal commission into the Catholic Church, specifically about their responses to sexual abuse within the church.
And why are you so sure that you will get that Royal Commission?
I think we've seen a groundswell from the public, from the press, and we've had encouraging signs from the Attorney-General's office. Such as? We've had discussions around the form of an inquiry. That's not to say that we've been told an inquiry will occur, but we've certainly had discussions around the form of an inquiry, and of course what we're pushing for is a Royal Commission.
And when you say discussions, when were those discussions and who with?
As late as last week with the Chief of Staff of the Attorney-General's office.
And he was open to this idea of a Royal Commission?
I don't know that he was open to the idea of a Royal Commission, but we certainly discussed the form that an inquiry might take, or the form that we would desire an inquiry to take.
And can you tell me why a Royal Commission is necessary?
Well, as Justice Philip Cummins recommended in his report, he very clearly said that the inquiry would need to be able to elicit evidence. So it has to have the power to elicit evidence from witnesses and organisations. Now, the only thing that will do that adequately in this case is a Royal Commission.
6 weeks ago, the Child Protection Inquiry recommended an independent inquiry into church abuse. The government is yet to respond. Why do you think it's taking this time?
I don't really know. It's been a while, and initially when we saw the Attorney-General last August, we thought, he said it'd be about 3 weeks before we got an answer, and then it was put into the Cummins inquiry, and that was a further 5 months. And now, like you say, it's 6 weeks since the report. So I just hope that they're working on this and deciding how to do it and which way to do it.
The Catholic Archbishop of Melbourne, Dennis Hart, has declined our request for an interview, but he said last month in a statement that he doesn't believe the majority of victims want the opportunity to speak publicly. Do you believe him?
I don't believe that most victims don't want to speak about this. And I think that takes us to the very root of this issue, that all we're hearing about is the Catholic Church's side about what the victims are saying, how many victims there are. That's why we need a Royal Commission. This needs to be an open, public matter to see what's really been happening behind the closed doors of the Catholic Church's investigation system.
If the government decides against holding an inquiry or against holding a Royal Commission, what will happen for you?
Well, the pain and suffering of the victims and the continuing suicides won't stop. So this has to go on. We have to be able to, at some stage, have a very public, state-led inquiry into all of these matters. The only thing that will satisfy that is a Royal Commission. So we will continue to pursue a Royal Commission. And there has been plenty of evidence now, a huge body of evidence about the Catholic Church in regard to these matters. No one's going to be, in Victoria, is going to be surprised about a Royal Commission being called into this.
Yet society does not accept the rape of children. And I believe that, and I know society believes it. It's just that it has to be understood what has happened to these children understood, believed, and then people will react.
Thank you both very much for your time.
Thanks, Josie.